Hi, guys, good evening, and welcome back once again to The Ed Word. I'm your host, Eddie, and in tonight's video, I will be bringing you my spoiler filled and very happy, enthusiastic film review for the latest and possibly the greatest Avatar film to come out in James Cameron's beloved franchise, Avatar Fire and Ash. Oh my God, what a movie! What a movie. Now, before I get into all that, I start gushing about it for too long and I talk too much. Please be warned, this is a spoiler, and I mean spoiler filled review. So if you haven't seen the movie yet and you plan to watch it tomorrow or at some point opening weekend or over the holiday season, you don't want to keep watching or listening to this review, as I will be discussing spoilers, plot details, character stuff, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. First and foremost, the movie pretty much gave me exactly what I was hoping for. I wanted to be bigger, better than Avatar: The Way of Water. Not to say I didn't enjoy The Way of Water. Of course I enjoyed it. I absolutely loved it. It was worth the super long wait. I'm just saying that this was a worthy, if not slightly better, follow-up to that film. And I love that, kind of like Marvel, the only person who can outdo Marvel is themselves, is Marvel. And the only person who can outdo James Cameron is himself, James Cameron. And of course, the super talented people all behind him as well. I mean, they delivered a great, epic film, a wonderful sci-fi fantasy film with themes of family, love, suicide. Well, almost suicide. Thankfully, it didn't go that way, but it looked like that for a while. And giving back to nature, being at one with nature, being at one with yourself. All of these things wrapped up in a beautiful sci-fi fantasy epic. And despite the runtime, which I had no issue with, I knew I wouldn't have an issue with it because the story is told at a really good pace, and it's like one beat after another, and it was very well balanced with excitement and drama. And of course, that fantastic final battle between all the forces of Pandora and a good chunk of the RDA's forces is just fantastic and exactly the kind of thing you wish for. It's like when you were a kid and you had like two big Lego armies like filled with different characters and creatures and monsters, and then you line them all up facing each other, and then you pick them all up out of their pieces and make them fight each other. That's exactly what the final battle of this movie was like for me. It was like watching like my childhood games or imagination at work, at play. And it was just so immensely satisfying and so fun to watch. There's so much I want to say and talk about this film, but I'm going to try to stick to the high points. One of the high points for me was that all the characters were far more well developed. And I thought they were incredibly well developed in Way of Water, but they expand even further on that in this movie, especially Spider, Jake, Quaritch, Neytiri, and Kiri. All the other characters were great too. I'm sorry for the ones who didn't make it, like Ronal, her son, Scoresby. I gotta admit, watching Scoresby go was quite satisfying to watch. I actually clapped a little bit because I thought, what a fitting end to such a great bad guy. And he was one of my new favorite characters from Way of Water, and I was hoping and happy that he appeared in this movie as well, but I thought, please, let Paya Khan kill him. Let him get killed by a Tolkun. And sure enough, I think it was Paya Khan himself who delivered the fatal blow by dragging him underwater to his death to drown. So it was bittersweet for me because I loved watching him die, but at the same time, he was like one of my new favorite characters because he was so icky and evil and easy to hate, but it was satisfying to watch. Quaritch was still very likable. They did with him what I was hoping they would do, but they did it in pieces rather than doing it as a whole, which was they made him more of an anti-hero rather than a full-blown villain like he was in the first two films. Now, I know we saw him kind of, kill himself at the end of the film by, throwing himself back off that rock, leaving Jake and his family to watch. And we do see him screaming as he is like presumably engulfed in flames. However, characters have proven to come back in different forms and ways in this franchise, so I'm not willing to write Quaritch off as dead quite yet. I still think he could return, and if he does return in the fourth or fifth films, maybe then he'll make that leap from villain to anti-hero, and he'll be on the side of Pandora rather than on the side of the RDA. But only time will tell, and that's up to James Cameron and his screenwriters. So Varang was a great villain. She was creepy. She was very edgy, and and the actress who played her did a phenomenal job. I mean, everybody did a phenomenal job playing their respective roles. The stakes felt higher in this film, but there's also, while there's this tremendous sense of dread at times, there's also this tremendous sense of hope. Like right when all the poor calves and their mothers of the Tolkun calves and mothers are surrounded by Scoresby's forces, and right at that moment, the squids and the Ikran attack, I was like, yes, I'm back at the final battle of the first Avatar film when the wildlife of Pandora came and kicked the RDA's ass, and they did it again exactly like they did in the first film. They did it again in this film, and I was absolutely all here for it. Were parts of this film, did they repeat beats or moments from the first two movies? Yes. Was it annoying? No. Was it entertaining and immensely satisfying? Hell yeah. I go to these movies to be entertained and taken away to far off worlds to forget all my real problems in the real world. And this movie does exactly that. That's what these movies do. They take you away to these fantastical, beautiful worlds filled with characters and creatures you know and love, and tell amazing stories with outstanding action sequences. I don't know how Cameron and his writers come up with what they come up with, but I was immensely satisfied with the epic scale and the massive scope of the final battle in this film. And I was pleased with the outcome of it, of who survived and who didn't. So I was quite happy with that. Again, there's so much I want to say, but overall, this movie was truly epic. It lived up to every tease and hype for me personally. I wish they had done things a little differently with Quaritch. They did kind of do what I was hoping they would do with the whole anti-hero thing, but he still had a bit of a villainous side and edge to him. Now, will he return for the fourth or fifth film? Obviously, we're not going to know until those movies come out, if they come out at all. But I certainly hope they go that route. And if not, then he'll make a great bad guy in those films as well, too. And I hope Varang comes back, too. And General Ardmore, we didn't see her escape the ship as it was getting sucked up into that vortex thing. We saw her on board it, but we didn't see her actually escape. So is she dead? Is she alive? I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh, and Garvin stepping up was another big highlight for me. I love seeing Garvin step up and help Jake and Spider escape the facility, and who's only one advocating for the Tolkun as well. I just wish he had been there to watch Scoresby meet his end. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and loved this movie as much as I did. What did you think of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments section. Have a wonderful rest of your night and holiday season if I don't see you anytime soon. I will be gone for about 2 weeks. I'm going back home for the holidays. So if you don't see any videos from me, I am simply on vacation, and I will be back at the end of this month bringing you content, new content as always. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. Avatar Fire and Ash is now playing in theaters. Go see it. It's awesome. Have a good night. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.